What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another Basement Radio Arcade podcast. Oh yeah! I don't know why I'm talking like that today. Yeah, so we're live. Sorry about that, guys. We went live for a sec, and then YouTube crashed on me. I don't know what happened. Just want to hold on a sec, here, guys. Got to mute. Sorry about the background noise here. Just want to make sure the stream is going well. This is the second time I've streamed through OBS and Discord through YouTube. So yeah, so here we are live, and got a bunch of news to talk about. The rest of the gang should be joining me here shortly, but wanted to promptly start here at 9 o'clock this evening, and yeah, I mean. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Huge Gears of 5 news. I don't know about you guys, but Microsoft announced the custom edition or limited edition Gears of War 5 Xbox One X. Now, they revealed this yesterday, and I gotta be honest with you guys, this thing looks fire. It looks good. I'm not gonna lie. It might be the best looking custom console of all time. What's up, Luca? Yes, you should say, boy, Luca, your sons are habitually late. I don't know if they do this to you on Scumcast, but they are late. It's all good though. I can handle it my own. I can go solo for a little bit. Um, but yeah, so the new Gears War 5 limited edition console was released, announced officially yesterday, and I think this thing looks freaking amazing. Um, it is not only does it look good, it's actually jam packed with a lot of content. You get the entire. Lucas says they do that on Scumcast too. Okay. Um, the thing is, yeah, Luke, I figured you raised them better. um, yeah, that Gears 5 console though. I mean, it's packed with content. You get the entire. Not only do you get Gears of War 5, but you get the entire Gears of War collection with that game, and the top of the console is actually translucent. So if you played the beta, you've seen the opening scene or opening credits. Um, Big shout out to everyone in the live chat, though. By the way, you see the opening credits where um, the like gear skull. I forget the name of the logo. The skull with the that's inside the cog. I forget what it's called. Officially called. It's under ice. That's actually that's on the top of the Xbox One X, and it looks like it's under ice. It's translucent. It's ridiculous. It looks so sick. I'm telling you guys, I really think that this is the best custom console this console generation. Uh, I think, and it's going to retail at $499. Comes with a nice controller. The controller looks pretty sweet too. And when you turn it on, it doesn't have the regular cadence or whatever it is when it comes on. It actually has like a Gears music to it or something. I saw somebody tweeted it out today, and I don't know, guys. This thing just looks fucking awesome, awesome. I mean, I to the point where I'm even thinking about maybe getting a custom uh, the limited edition Gears 5 console. I mean, it just looks so good, so good. So I'm anyone in the live chat. Is anyone in the live chat thinking about picking up this console? Because yeah, the indie gamer says it has ice cracking around. It does, and like I said, it's definitely translucent. It is awesome. I can't even say enough about just how good of a job Microsoft's done with this console. Um, it's great. I mean, I mean that's the only thing I can say. It just looks phenomenal. Looks phenomenal. So I know Boomstick. Big shout out to Boomstick XL. Boom is actually went out and pre-ordered the console today. He was originally he said he wasn't gonna get it. He's like, I'm not gonna get it. And then he went out and did the deed today. He sent me a tweet showing me the receipt, the down payment. It's official. He is getting one. He's getting. What's up, Chief Tomei? Chief says subjective. What's going on, Slow Mo?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. I feel like I gotta talk like you. You're all smooth, dude. Let me tell you something. You were a smooth dude, Slow Mo.
Am
You
I?
got
Am I
that voice,
really?
man. I'm telling you, you must have did some damage back in the days. I'll leave it at that, man. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm a plead the fifth on that
Yeah,
one.
plead it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth.
Fifth.
I plead the fifth. Hey, let me ask you something, man. What do you think of that Gears 5 limited edition console,
It looks nice. It
dude?
looks. It's probably the best looking
Yes,
custom console I've seen this gen.
dude. I'm telling you. Hey, and you know me how I've been about Xbox more recently, right?
Yeah, you change your tone real fast. You're like, I hate Xbox. I hate you, Phil. Oh my god, this console. It's just everything's. Oh, what was I? Was I complaining about? I don't even remember.
Oh,
I was like, "Dang, really?"
what happened? That's like, what happened? Where am I?
Exactly. Where am I? How did I get in GameStop? Why is my credit card out? What
Yeah,
did I just buy? Oh, I remember now. I just bought this console again.
yeah. You know, it's interesting. Luca in the live chat says Gears 4 console was better in my opinion. I've actually seen some people say that. That they
Yeah, you know what? It's close. I think it's close.
uh,
The Gears 4 console is very nice. I just like that
translucent.
that skull coming through the
Yeah,
ice look. Oh, that just looks so amazing.
that
Like whoever
skull,
designed that,
and
man,
it's
they
translucent. It looks like like it's in the ice, like in the game, like in the opening, credits of the game. You know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Great to me. I hope the game to uh, the uh, the same quality as the custom console, hopefully.
oh boy,
But
I got.
we'll see.
By the way, our good friend David Jaffe has a video that says Jaffe goes off on toxic gamers. I gotta see that, man.
Oh,
I'm
really?
sure Jaffe let some people. Well, I mean, as you know, when we had him on, he's not one to mince words.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah,
Not at all.
and whether or not you agree with him, I do like. I like the fact that he speaks his mind. Um, and so I just I'm gonna have to check that out later on. But yeah, I've seen that. I've seen people say that
Biting. Just
The Gears 4 one was better, or they liked it better. But um, I just yeah, I could see that though because I think the Gears 4 one had like do you have like claw marks on it or something?
I remember it being red and having the Gears like logo on. I
It
might
had the
just pull
Gears
up a
logo
picture
on
of
it.
it actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, I think the chat was saying you were biting just a little bit.
probably am botting a little bit. Yeah, I hear you botting on my end. Can you hear me okay, Slimo?
Oh, I'm biting too.
Yeah, you know what? Hold on
Oh
just a
my
sec here. Give
god.
me just a sec.
Discord. How could you?
Give me a sec
Ooh,
here.
you know what? You know what?
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So I might, after pulling up the Gears 4 custom console now, I think I might have to go with that one.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Just it's got the splatter of blood over by the disc slot. It's got. I mean, and the controller is fine. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but this is amazing. The only thing that the new one really has is just the skull coming up through the ice. That's really it, right? I mean, everything else is like the cracked ice kind of cracking along the console. It looks great, and the controller looks great. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with this one. I might have to retract what I said before.
You know what, man? Hold on a sec here. Let me see something real quick. I'm sorry. I'm just checking.
Lucas said, "Told you."
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like it, man. I like the I like. Hold on a second. I'm closing out some programs right now because just in case, you know.
Yeah, Keep Tone said dudes buying consoles every year. Nah. I have I bought the Xbox One S. Oh no, the base Xbox One in 2014. I didn't go launch consoles this year.
Hmm.
Bought my PlayStation 4 in 2015. Haven't changed that out at all. It's still going strong, no issues. And I did get the One X at launch, but that was it. That's I'm not doing the every time a custom console comes out. Yeah, I'm copping that. I'm copping that. I mean, no shade to those who do it because the value of the customs always seem to hold a lot better than just a regular one. So it's all good.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I mean, I'm looking at the Gears 4 console. Oof, that
That
red
thing
is
ugly as
nice,
hell.
man.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Thing's
What
ugly as
what
hell. Not.
what's up, Forte? Hey, Forte,
What up, though?
how are those pre-orders looking, my friend?
Didn't work today. Couldn't tell you.
Oh, you do. Oh, I was hoping to get some insight in the pre-orders,
I know.
man.
I know. When I went up to the store to pre-order mine yesterday, we had 7 of them so far.
What?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, huh?
I mean, for the
For
first 2 hours of it being announced, yeah.
That's not too shabby for a custom console, man. In my opinion, at least.
The
I don't know.
mine, I wouldn't be. I should call up there. I should call up there and ask them how many they have. I'm about to actually do it. Hold on, because they still at the store. They haven't left yet.
All right, Forte is going to give us an update on the number of Gears 5 limited edition Xbox consoles that have been reserved at his store. As of 2 hours into it, they were at 7. So interesting. Yeah, like I was telling the chat earlier, Slimo, Boomstick was actually Boom was like, "Oh, I'm not going to get it," and he went out and got it. He's like, "I couldn't resist."
I knew Boom was going to get
I
it.
knew he
Boom
was
gets
too, man.
like all the collector's editions. He gets all the custom consoles. He just can't help himself.
Yeah, he really can't, man. Hey, big shout out to Graphic God, by the way. Graphic God, he's in the live chat right now, guys. What a great guy. Just a outstanding dude, man. I mean, if you guys are looking at this right now, at this feed, live feed through YouTube, he helped me put this together. He really did. I mean, in terms of the layout and everything, kind of touching up the BRAP logo. I mean, I could have done this without him. So just big shout out, man. Mad love, man. Mad love to Jay Graphic God. Just does just fantastic work and just a good dude. So just want to give him a
As
shout out.
of,
He
as of,
absolutely does.
yeah, definitely.
That's well deserved.
Okay, well, what's the update here,
All right.
Forte?
As of 9 o'clock Eastern time, we are. Well, my store is at 24.
Woo!
That's not
24,
bad.
baby.
It's not bad for one store.
Dude.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Dude,
That's
now
actually
slow mo.
That's
Now
actually pretty freaking good.
slow mo. Now, yeah, okay. I sorry I interrupted, man. Can you say that again? That's what?
24.
But you said it's pretty what?
That's pretty freaking good for a day one.
Yeah, day one.
Not even
Yeah.
a day one. I mean, if I think about what we did in original Xboxes when Xbox One launched, if I remember correctly, total in 2013 we had about 171 pre-ordered. So that's already at close to 20%. Well, not 20%, like 15% of that number already. And that's a custom console. So, and it costs, well, no, it don't cost more. It costs the same amount of money.
Wow, dude, that's awesome,
That's actually
man.
pretty. That's actually pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if over the weekend it picks up even more steam when people get paid on Friday, because I guarantee a lot of people, because it's $50 down to put on it.
Yeah, that's right. It's $50. Yeah, the trading value for the X is not good though, man. It's only 175.
Don't trade your system in now. Wait until like a week before or within the same month. Normally they do some type of trade up thing
Right.
where you'll
Right.
get at least 250 to 300 for an X.
Really?
Oh yeah, they always do that. I wouldn't be surprised
Okay.
because right now
Good
you
to know,
can,
man.
because they had a promotion not too long ago where if you wanted to trade an X in or a PS4 Pro, you could get 275 for it if you put it towards a Switch.
Ooh, that's right. I remember that. You're right.
And that was recently, like not even a month ago. So it just really comes down to being smart when you're getting rid of your stuff. Like I'm playing it real close on that one because I have two X's. So I put the 50 down and I'm like, I'm waiting for this thing to wait for this promotion to happen, which it will happen. I just hope it's 250 or 300 for it.
Wait, you are getting a Scarlet?
What, a Scarlet? No,
No,
I'm talking about this Gears of War system.
Okay.
He's getting the gear system.
I thought you were.
No.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm going to get that gear system is because only way I'm going to get the gear system if I can get it for less than $70 out of pocket. If I can't get it for less than $70 out of pocket, I'll just keep the X I got. Because I feel like overall it's worth $70 to upgrade to that system. First, you'll have a brand new system, so your warranty will restart, and then on top of that, you'll have a custom version of the system. So if you ever want to resell it at a later date, it's going to be worth more. It's not going to be worth more, but it'll be worth exactly what you paid for. Because my Spider-Man PS4, I can still sell that right now for the price that it's going for $400 out of even open in the box.
Right.
So
yeah, and that's what I was saying before about these custom consoles really hold the value. And that's why I'm like no shade to those who just cop those every time they pop up. I mean, you can essentially look at, like, if you get a bunch of custom consoles at any point in time, you could just get your money back for it
Exactly.
by selling to someone else, or use it as value towards a next gen console. So
yeah. Now to answer that other part of that question, because I kind of skated by what you just said, Slomo, about the Scarlet. I don't know if you heard not breakfast with Boom, but the Xbox Factor podcast. I was on there with Mojo and Boom this morning. And
I was listening a little bit. I was throwing some shade to you.
Yeah, there was some moments where I'm more closer now to saying I'm gonna get a Scarlet than I was 2 weeks ago, and a lot of it has to do with some information that came out about what Frank O'Connor came out and talked about, saying it would be the best version of the game that you could play. Now, I know that's hogwash because the PC version will always be better because
that's information you already.
I already know that, but this is
to the hype right now.
No. I'm gonna tell you what the thing for me is. Him coming out and saying that it's going to be the best place to play the game, the best version of the game is going to be on Xbox Scarlet. I know that's hogwash, but him saying it kind of got me thinking, well, what is it going to take for me to run this game at the fidelity and level that I want to run it at on my PC? Now, granted, my PC is really freaking good, but what happens if they come out and say that in order to run the game the way you want to run it on a PC, it's going to take you to upgrade to that 1080 Ti or something, that 1020 Ti. That's a $1,200 graphics card right there, bro. I mean, at that point, I have a 1080 Ti. It's good. It's great. But if at 1440 or 4K 60 frames per second and get a little bit and just have more, it really doesn't benefit me to play it on that system. It's like a companion system at that point, because then that money, I feel like, will probably be a little geared to go towards the Scarlet, because I wouldn't be able to run that game in ray tracing at 4K 60 frames per second. I can tell you right now, in the 1080 Ti, that's not going to happen. Not at the fidelity that I want to run it at. But the fact that they say you're going to be able to run 4K 60 frames per second with ray tracing enabled on a console, that's kind of appealing to me. That kind of changes the narrative. If the PC is going to have to, if I'm going to have to get a 2080 to get that, I don't want to plop down $800 to do that, where a console can do it for $5 or $6. I mean, it's kind of weird, but I know because they're coding that a PC doesn't have the opportunities to cut out on. So that kind of got me thinking, but I'm still firmly planning that until they show me this is what the scenario is going to be. There is a door because of the price difference that it's going to probably cost you to get into that, into that type of gameplay if you want to play at that type of fidelity.
You know, I'm still not buying it. I think that was just all marketing talk.
I hope so.
I still think it's going to run just fine on the Xbox One X. I actually think it's going to run amazing on the One X, and it's going to look cool. And I've never been a Lucas saying the audio is definitely shaky.
Yeah, fucking Discord,
I think it's
man.
kind of been like, all right, I'm going to drop out and drop back in, or maybe because I'm using the Discord app off Windows 10. Maybe that is the problem.
I think I'm using it too, though. The Discord app.
Yeah, I might try it through
the browser.
Yeah. All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm doing mine through the browser.
Yeah, I'm doing mine through the app. But no, I mean, it made me really think about it, Enrique. And it doesn't really. I'm not going to say my opinion has 100% changed, but it's put a thought in my mind about it. Now, I think it's all hogwash because I feel like there's no way it's going to take a 2080 Ti to run that game that way.
No,
but if it does, if it does, then it's more economical to get an X. I mean, well, Scarlet did anything, but I already can tell you this. If you are looking for ray tracing in that game and that higher fidelity, you're not going to get it on the X. You'll get probably the fidelity. You'll get the fidelity, but the X doesn't have ray tracing built into it.
Right. It's not going to have ray tracing.
So that's a selling point right there for anybody that does want to upgrade. Now, I guarantee you, if they show side for side scenarios of the game and they show ray tracing on, ray tracing off, and it makes that big of a difference, that might be the selling point for a lot of people to jump in. Now, for me, it all comes down to if my 1080 Ti is able to do it at that level. If it's not, I'm not upgrading to a bigger card that's cost 2 times the amount of a system that I can get it for a cheaper price. I mean, that would just be stupid at that point, and I don't want to be stupid.
Well, you might be able to pick up the Navi cards on the cheap when those come out with ray tracing. I mean, when I had Mods Gaming on, he was kind of no one knows for sure, but he was saying, based on some of the things he's seen, he's like probably the equivalent of the GPUs in these next gen consoles, maybe along the lines like of a 2060
right.
NVIDIA. And so, if you look at a 2080, I mean, that's a 2080 is a beast. I mean, that thing, there's no way these consoles touch the 2080 GPU. I don't see that happening. But it's interesting. Mods actually put out a video recently too. And if you guys haven't checked out Mods Gaming, it's MADZ Gaming. Please check him out. He really has some insightful stuff. By the way, Slim, I think that helped maybe you coming back in.
Yeah, it does. It did help a lot.
Yeah. So because I'm not botting, and I don't think Slim was botting, but I think that. Why do you guys date supermodels? What?
I think that's in response to Rocker's question of why do people play the X when the OG Xbox One plays the same games. One plays them way better than the other.
There's no question.
Z Black Rider saying a 2080 minimum? No way, dude.
No, I'm not saying minimum, not minimum. I'm just saying for me, at the fidelity I want to play at, the only upgrade. Okay, this is the thing. For me, the only upgrade is a 2080 or a 1080 or a 2080 Ti, because I'm already sitting at a 1080 Ti. So the only upgrade I can do feasibly is that card. Yeah. So if my card can't give me the fidelity and give me it can do simulated ray tracing. I know that because the 1080 Ti is backwards compatible with ray tracing. Now, it's not the real thing, but if it's compatible enough, then I'm good. But if it isn't, then you're almost better off getting a console, because jumping up to even a 2080, it's still $800-900.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You don't need to do a 2080, man. You can do a 2070 Super and be really good.
Nah. That's online with that's the thing. It's online what I have. This is how I think. That's in line what I already have. That's like a lateral move just to get ray tracing. Like if I'm gonna spend $700 or $600 get a 2070,
Well, 2070 is
I'm
like
getting the same, or I'm
they're like
getting the
500
same
now.
power. It's like 500.
Yeah.
I'm paying the same amount of money for the same power that my 2080 Ti gives me, but I'm getting ray tracing.
Your
So it's
1080
like I'm
Ti.
not really gaining in power. So if I'm going to buy a new card, I want to gain power from
I don't
that
know,
card.
man.
That's the one thing
I don't.
about PC.
I think and I don't know all about the GPUs, but
Well, let me
I
ask you.
think
Let
there's
me ask you
next
this
gen
then.
things in those GPUs that
Well,
the 1080s aren't going to have.
let me ask you this then. If a 20, yeah, because the difference between a 27 and a 1080 is ray tracing. They already said that it's in line. That was the biggest thing about the 2080s, or I mean the 20 series, is because they kind of stepped up the game when it came to like the higher end cars, where 2070s are basically 1080s now.
Yeah.
So think about it like this: for the same price, I can upgrade to I can upgrade to a 2070 and get ray tracing, or and keep the same performance and actually take a hit in performance too, because right now, if I'm running a game at 60 frames per second with my 1080 or my 1080 Ti, I upgrade to a 2070 with ray tracing. I'm still getting the same performance, but then ray tracing kicks in and knocks the performance down, because we all know when you turn on ray tracing, you take a performance hit. So you kind of want to step up a level just so you can still maintain where you were at with your previous gen cards. And that's something that I don't want to do. I don't want to lose performance to gain a niche feature that every game's not even going to, even really do anything with. Compared to the X, I mean, the X, between the X and the Scarlet, the X we know isn't going to have ray tracing. We know the Scarlet is going to be stronger than the X. We know that out the back. So we already know you're getting a performance boost and you're adding ray tracing on top of it. So you're gaining in both fronts, where with a graphics card, in order to gain, you're gonna have to spend an extra $400 to $500. So I mean, that's where I was starting to think about it, and I was like, if I'm willing to spend $800-900 to do it, then yeah, I'll forego getting a score, the Scarlet. But I don't know, man. It's a little rough, and that's the one thing about PC though, man. When you got options, but those options could drive you fucking crazy.
Just do it. Get it now.
Get it out. But there's another thing that we talked about on that show with Boone this
Well,
morning.
the Navi AMD GPUs are coming out soon. And
Yeah,
you might
they
be able to
are.
get some, maybe at a better price.
But I don't want to be a first adopter of a new line. I kind of want other people to be that guinea pig.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
why I am never a day one buyer of like new consoles and like a new gen,
Yeah,
because there's
no.
usually issues, some bugs that gotta get worked out, like say the controller thumbsticks from the PlayStation 4s when they first came out. A lot of the first model 360s were a lot of the ones that ended up with the red ring of death. Just like I'm just kind of always chill, and I'm always got games to finish anyway. So I'm like, you know what? When I see a game that I absolutely have to have,
Yeah.
and I absolutely can only play it with that,
Yeah, and
then
it's
I get it.
just a perfect example from what he just said. When the 2080s came out, you couldn't run Destiny for like a good 2-3 weeks with a 2080, because
Yeah.
it was the ray tracing was interfering with the IMEI files and stuff on the game.
Hey, by the
So
way, I'm looking at Forte. I'm looking at benchmarks between 1080 Ti and a 2070 Super on some games, or 40 games, and it's funny, man. Like there's certain games, 1080 runs better. Certain
yeah,
games, the 27 Super runs better. Um, hold on a second. Like Witcher 3, they gave it 2070 Super. Fallout 4, 1080 Ti. Rainbow Six Siege, 27 Super. Overwatch, 1080 Ti. What else here? There's just a bunch. There's like 40 games I'm looking at.
yeah, it's just
It's interesting.
that arc.
Yeah, man, I hear you, man.
They do.
But
The
do it anyway.
1080
Get it now. Go get
Well,
the
the
2080
1080
Ti.
is considered the 1080 is considered Nvidia's best card they've ever made.
Go get it
It-
now.
it's just
2080.
considered that.
Go
But
get it.
this is the thing that a
Go
lot of
get the
people are
Super
thinking
now.
about.
Sorry,
Yeah, I
man.
agree.
Sorry,
But
man.
no, you good. It's the thing, but people ain't talking about. This is what I think is really going to propel Microsoft with. I think the Scarlet probably doing well. When Halo releases, all you're gonna do is see Halo everywhere. They got the biggest. They got one of the most known streamers on Mixer streaming that game. It's gonna be the number one game streamed on Mixer. When it releases day one with PC and Steam, all of Twitch is going to be streaming. Well, not all of it, but the majority of Twitch, people at the top that always wanted to play a Halo on PC are going to be streaming Halo. It's going to be streamed on Xboxes everywhere. So you're just going to see a huge just bomb drop on all gaming when it comes to just that game in general. And Microsoft's going to own pretty much, I believe, all the airways when it comes to streaming that game, probably for the first couple of, if not the first week, maybe the first couple of weeks. And I think when people start seeing their friends, they see these big streamers playing the game and enjoying it and running around and playing multiplayer, that's gonna sell systems for them. I think they can't sell the system themselves anymore. I think Microsoft has done a piss poor job in doing that for themselves. But man, this Ninja acquisition making Mixer the biggest thing that they've ever had when it comes to a platform for streaming, that really just helps them navigate one side of the puzzle, because Twitch is going to take care of itself and everybody's going to stream that game at the top on Twitch when it hits on PC. So I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a really interesting year for Microsoft next year at the end of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft leads. I'm saying it now. I think Microsoft's going to win NPD for the month of November and December when Halo does come out. Because I think just the number of people playing that game is showing on a consistent basis. It's going to have a Fortnite phase. It probably won't be as big as Fortnite, but it's going to have that type of status from as many people are playing. So I'm calling that right now, a year before the damn thing even comes out. That's going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen, sir.
That's going to happen.
It's
going to happen.
Not with the release of the PlayStation 5.
So what game on PlayStation 5 is going to topple anything that they can do stream wise that's going to put more eyes on the game than that?
It's called brand loyalty.
Brand loyalty sells the system, sir. You remember we came from a generation where both systems sold neck and neck, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's going to happen. And those people that bought PlayStation 5s are going to find a reason to buy a Xbox One then.
Nah,
I don't think it, look, dude, here's the thing, man. If they haven't bought an Xbox now,
if it's worth
they're
it,
not going to buy. They're not
going
to buy an Xbox.
It hasn't been worth it.
But hey, we've had Halo already. We've had Halo 5.
Oh yeah, we haven't had a good Halo. We haven't had a good Halo.
Okay, that's subjective though. I mean, like, we agree that the last Halo, at least the campaign wasn't the best. The multiplayer was pretty good. What's up, OJ?
Yeah, do you see this? Do you see that game being streamed everywhere? People going out looking at it like that. I think
Ninja might help Xbox owners who were on the fence. Maybe pick up Scarlet sooner than later. You may have some other hardcore gamers that maybe play on PlayStation. They'll get both, but look at just the generation gap. I mean, 100 million to, let's say, I'm hearing 40, 45 million. I don't see, barring some kind of mishap at E3 from Sony, like they tell us to go out and get a second job again.
I'm not telling you that they're going to win the generation, guys.
No. But I don't think
we know Microsoft ain't got.
I don't think they take November, December NPD.
I think they will.
The PlayStation 5. Sony is just at a different level.
They will.
Sony's at a different level.
I think they will.
I just don't.
And this only comes down to the game being good.
Yes.
Let me interject here for a moment. Now, I can see Enrique's side because it's just Halo, and Halo's star has kind of waned over the years. It's not as popular as it used to be. Yet, game isn't innovating or iterating off of what it was with Halo Guardians in any way. Then, yeah, I mean, you're going to have Ninja playing it, and yeah, some of the younger generation that just like does whatever Ninja does is going to jump on it. You're going to get some streamers after. I agree with Forte about that. It's going to get, because of how they're setting things up, it's going to get and more people playing it than Halo Guardians. Yet I think not going to really change anything as far as who's buying what console.
Yeah, that's kind of my point.
I don't think it's going to change that. I don't think it's going to change that. I just think that's going to be the moment where, just like there was a moment where Xbox was leading by 6 million consoles, but then there was a moment where more people bought PlayStations than Xboxes for a while. I'm just saying during that time frame, Microsoft is going to probably sell a crap ton of systems that's going to outsell just for that moment in time, because that's going to probably be the talk of the town when everybody sees people playing that game, and they're going to want to be a piece of it, especially if they already have PlayStation 4s and they can't play it. They don't want to invest in a PC, or they don't have a PC that can run it. Then they realize they don't have to go out and buy a Scarlet to do it. They can go out and get the regular Xbox. They can go get an Xbox One S or an X.
If they have a PlayStation 4, why are they going to go buy an Xbox One X when they're going to buy a PlayStation 5?
Why not? But that's the whole thing. If you don't have a PC, that you don't want to go PC though, and the only way you can play it other than PC is where? On Xbox.
I don't know.
There's no other place to play it.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to have.
But see, you're fighting against the same knowledge that you're using about Sony, just like Last of Us. Last of Us is going to sell regardless, because you can only buy it on one system.
I'm not saying Halo's not going to sell, or the new Halo's not going to sell. I'm sure it's going to do well for Xbox. I'm sure people who only play on Xbox to go out in droves and buy a Scarlet to play Halo, but I don't think it's going to.
So basically what we're saying is Microsoft has no chance, even with their biggest gun coming out and all eyes on the game. They have no chance in selling systems to people on both systems.
I mean,
what you're basically saying.
I'm not saying that. There's definitely some hardcore people that own systems that own a PlayStation 4.
Because we own everything.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying those people, but what I'm saying is I don't think people that only own a PlayStation 4 are going to wake up and say, "Oh, Ninja's playing Halo. I got to go buy an Xbox now."
But you got to remember, most of those people that only own PlayStation 4s this generation, they only own a PlayStation 4 first because that was the system that everybody went to. It had all the marketing deals right off the back, and then on top of that, there was no reason to have an Xbox because there was nothing to play on Xbox that was
and
big
Sony
enough
still
for you to
has all the best marketing deals.
Yeah, Sony's going to come in, and you got to remember, Sony's going to launch The Last of Us Part 2 , which is going to
okay.
And they're gonna release a re-release. Ghost of Tsushima is probably going to be a launch game now at this point. They're going to repackage Death Stranding, and they're going to hype the shit out of all the stuff that they've released and say, "Hey, here's what the PlayStation 5 is." Here, and Sony's gonna go up there and show some crazy CGI shit. The fans at E3,
got a person.
All you got to do, hold on, Forte. All you got to look at the reactions at E3 at Sony. You'll never hear that kind of loud pop at a Sony E3 at a Microsoft conference. I've never heard it. In the 18 years I've been watching E3 and Microsoft conferences, the crowd never pops the way they do at Sony conferences. So I think it's going to do well.
Now, let me also, some of that pop you see at a Sony conference is a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
How's it BS?
Let's talk about the huge pops we've seen. Shenmue 3. Final Fantasy 7 remake, which we still haven't played yet.
How about The Last Guardian?
People said, "Oh, Sony won E3 because they showed a game that's being kickstarted."
How about The Last Guardian? But you know what though? But that's not
Last Guardian. Really?
Yeah, people, dude. You know how many people wanted that game and waited forever? See, that's what I'm saying. Like they get those pops.
That game is trash.
Have you played it?
Oh,
even
shit.
the flies.
Have you played it?
Shit, he got you, Slow-Mo.
Slow-Mo, you haven't played it. You can't call it trash. You can't slander something you even tried. I'm gonna have to put you on mute on Discord.
Trying to put your ass
Yeah, I
on
know.
trial. I said, did you play?
Yeah, I knew when he said that game was trash, he didn't play it because normally Slow-Mo would say,
man.
I played it and it was trash. I didn't like it. I didn't like this about it. But yeah, that's right. Lucas says, "Get him, Enrique." No, I'm not. Again, unfortunately, I see your point. I think there's going to be a ninja effect for sure. I just don't think that that they're going to outsell. I think it's going to be close, but I don't think they're going to outsell Sony. Man, there's too much momentum. I'm going to ask
you something.
Too much momentum.
We have a person that's sitting right here in this chat, not in the chat, but in this podcast on this panel right now, that was a huge stickler for anything Nintendo. He would not go out and buy a system for Nintendo for the longest. He said, I don't want to play their first party titles. They trash. Zelda's trash. And then all of a sudden they started coming out with a couple of games that he liked, and his whole attitude changed. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
Listen, Microsoft isn't going to win next generation. That is not going to happen. They are not even going to come close to them outselling them for the whole generation. For 2 months or a month to 2 months, there's going to be a bunch of people like Slow-Mo that's going to see something, and all their favorite streamers and all their favorite content creators for a little bit of a while are going to be playing that game, and they're going to be making it look better than it actually probably will be, because we all know games look better to people when they see a whole bunch of other people having fun playing it. That's how people go, and they'll go out and buy a brand new fucking system to enjoy that game just because someone else is doing it. And Slow-Mo is the catalyst to that, because he did not want a goddamn Switch. He wasn't going to get a Switch. He wasn't even looking at a Switch. And guess what happened? Now the man can't play it. He can't put his Switch down.
It is right.
He plays it more than any damn thing.
I'm actually playing it right now.
Yeah, I know he's playing. Yeah, I know he's playing. He's playing Fire Emblem. I already know that.
But that's the whole thing. So it's cool. It's cool to sit here and say that you believe that these people are going to do this, that, and the other. I'm just telling you, for that little bit of a time, you're going to see an ungodly amount of eyes on fucking Halo, because the whole stream world is going to be watching it. And Microsoft did themselves a huge favor by locking up Mixer,
I don't know about the whole
locking up
world.
one side of it. They locked up one, because guess what? Twitch is going to be Halo's going to be number one on Twitch as soon as it comes out. Because guess what? It's the first time you were able to play a modern Halo game on the biggest platform, which is Steam. And there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of people playing that game on top of the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people playing it.
But here's the thing that you're not thinking about, Forte, is that Microsoft has already set things up so that you don't have to buy an Xbox just to play that game. Now, I don't think Enrique or I are we going to sit here and Halo is not going to do well. Halo's probably going to sell.
No, I'm sure Halo's
probably going to sell more than 10 million copies when it comes out. I firmly believe that. But when you can play the game on your old Xboxes, when you can play the game on PC, and then by that time you could probably even play it on your daggone cell phone. And why do you need an Xbox to play the game?
Hey, real quick, guys.
We're talking about all these people that don't have Xboxes that are on PS4.
Hey, time out real quick, guys. I want to go to the live chat real quick. OBJ to Don says, man, Ninja ain't about to sell nobody an Xbox. One Bad Mother says Microsoft won't beat Sony in consoles. We'll have people underrate Halo. It's about mindshare, and Halo is the type of game that can pick up momentum after release.
Yes.
OBJ says the same lunchboxes who playing Halo now will buy Xbox for the next one. Chief told me says Halo might be on mobile next gen. Fortnite could be right. One Bad Mother says, look what happened when Zelda made a comeback. Distracted by Life says Sony will buy PewDiePie. I hope not. Oh, OBJ says Sea of Thieves is number one on Twitch too.
And it did really freaking well on Twitch too.
Oh my goodness.
It did really well too that first, and that's the thing. It did really well that first month, and everybody was shocked.
Yeah. Well, I would say I do agree with what you're saying. I do think Halo's going to do very well. I just don't know. I don't necessarily think that. I don't agree with you on the console piece, but we'll see. We'll
Just-
find out,
just-
man. It's a year away. We'll see what happens.
Just clip this.
Yeah.
Record it. I know Luca taking pictures right now.
Oh,
'cause she'll
Luca,
hold it she'll hold it over my head in the calendar year if it doesn't.
if it doesn't happen, she's probably gonna pull the receipts.
The receipts are
is
already
there a
pulled.
number that you think is going to happen here? Like,
Number of system sold? I mean, it's so
you
hard
already said it's going to get out, so you know it's not going the
it's so
Scarlet's
hard
not
to
going to win
project
any
numbers for
MPDs because of Halo.
Well, it's so hard to project numbers from Microsoft because you don't know how many people are going to play it through Game Pass or not.
Oh, I tell you what. Well, you mean, but he's talking about how many consoles sold though.
Oh, how many consoles sold? I will say over the course of those 2 months, at least I will say they will sell at least 5.5 million over those 2 months.
Wow. Okay.
5.5 million. I think they sold their biggest holiday with Xbox One. I think they sold like 3.5 or almost 4 million.
Yeah.
So I think they'll sell 5. I think they're not going to do that much because, like I said, I don't think they're that great. I'm just saying I think because you got to think a lot of people aren't going to be upgraded from PS4 because a lot of those games can still be played on PS4, especially the ones that are coming out soon. You won't see PS5 adopters fully until you start seeing games that's only on PS5 when they start doing that. Then you'll see those people start making that huge jump over because you got to remember a lot of those 100 million people are casuals and you know how long it takes them motherfuckers to go over and switch. So, hardcore is going to sell the first 10, 15 million systems, and it's going to be the same thing for the Xbox. So that's why I think you're going to see a nice little window where Microsoft can really take advantage of people that never had an Xbox at one point because they just went strictly PlayStation, and they're going to give people a reason, I think, to buy it with that one game. Or I take that back. Microsoft's not going to give you a reason. Streamers are going to give you a reason because they're going to make the game look funner than it actually probably.
Once again, you're still making this argument.
I don't think
that the only way to play Halo, Scarlet, which
it's not a Scarlet. I said it could be any system. It could be, dude. I literally just said if you don't have a PlayStation,
Forte, stop talking.
If you have a PlayStation, hold on, man. If you have a PlayStation and no Xbox, how are you going to play the game?
Okay, but you said that
at that point you'll be able to get Xbox
I'm not talking about Scarlet
and
selling,
play it on
I'm
your
not talking
phone.
about Scarlet selling 5.5. I'm talking about Xbox in general.
But you said did you say
not
Scarlet was going to outsell PS5?
No, I said Xbox is going to outsell PlayStation during that month. I never said which.
Why would anyone buy? Hold on. What if you don't have an Xbox?
I don't believe
right?
Scarlet's not going to do it.
If you don't have
an Xbox,
go ahead.
Why would you buy a One X Scarlet if you're going to get an Xbox to play Halo?
It depends on how much the Scarlet. How much is the X? Is the X $300 and the Scarlet 5?
But if you're a PlayStation owner and you have the option to buy a PS5 and you never bought an Xbox,
how if you already have a PS5?
You're probably not going to buy an Xbox, or you
Why
might.
not?
If you're someone like us.
Why do you have a PlayStation 4 Pro, Enrique?
Oh my god!
I mean, dude, we can argue this all day.
Yeah,
you have an Xbox and you have a PlayStation 4. Yeah. And you have a Pro.
Okay.
Why do you have a PlayStation 4 Pro? You didn't need a PlayStation 4 Pro, Enrique, because all games look just as good on a regular PS4. God of War looks just as good on the base PS4. Why'd you upgrade to a PS4 Pro?
I would disagree with that. I think God of War looks a little bit better.
Who did not have a PlayStation after the Pro came out and decided for the most part, let's say it was like some super sale, like when they had those super sales for Spider-Man, the bundle thing for the base one. Okay. Outside of sales like that, they're getting the better.
Y'all living in yesteryear right now. I can't convince y'all. I'm sorry.
This is what we're trying to tell you. We're not saying Halo's not going
this ain't got nothing to do
numbers.
with Halo selling. It's all about just eyes being on the game and people seeing the game that they can't play because they don't own the system. If you don't own the system, the only way you can play it is on a PC or a console.
can
Right,
play it
or
without
mobile,
a
which
console.
we're not even
You can
counting.
play it without a PC.
We're
You
not.
can play it on your freaking iPad.
Okay, and we're talking about gamers here. We're not talking about closet gamers that play on phones. Sorry.
This is what I'm. If they talking up xCloud the way they are,
Okay.
it's going to be one to
Are
one. It's
we
going to be
are we
no latency.
really banking on xCloud right now? Is that are we just saying
Look,
that to further the
if
argument
I'm
or boast
no,
the
no, no, no,
argument
no.
you're trying to have?
I'm looking at it from the perspective of someone who really is not into the Xbox ecosystem. This is what we're talking about here. We're talking about
Okay.
selling those kind of numbers that quickly. We're talking about people who are not traditionally in the Xbox ecosystem, not traditionally
Who
in the
said they
Halo
weren't?
community,
Do you know?
buying the game.
So Forte, right now,
You gotta
20,
listen. You gotta
hold on real
listen.
quick,
I'm
slow-mo.
listening.
So 26% of console gamers right now own multiple consoles.
Uh-huh.
So you're saying that so we could probably say that it's safe that maybe 26% will own multiple consoles starting next generation,
Right.
which leads us to what? That is probably, if we look at, like, let's say sales numbers now, sales trends. I mean, I don't think.
I have a question for you though. Let me ask you this. How many people do you know, Enrique, right now that had an Xbox 360 last generation and never had an Xbox this generation that only had a PlayStation?
Quite a
That
few.
doesn't work.
I
because
know a
that's
lot
just
of people that
Yeah.
had 360s
doesn't-
last generation and switched to
your
switched
own
over
but
to
here's the
self
thing.
PlayStation.
as like your ecosystem, your circle of people isn't conducive
No,
to.
that's why I just asked him the question
First.
about how many people he. We didn't
But
know
you're
each other
betting.
then.
You're
You're
betting.
still just two guys.
You-
That
Okay,
doesn't
so Slomo,
mean
you don't know people.
anything.
So Slomo, you don't know anybody.
Not saying
That's more
look,
Just
anecdotal.
ask me, just
That's
Slomo.
but
Do you
that's
know
that all
somebody?
Forte,
three
that's
of us know
anecdotal
still
evidence,
isn't
though. You
dropping
can't
a
No,
really.
it's
bucket
not
in
because
regards to
everybody
this.
know. Listen, you
That's
can't sit here
anecdotal.
and say that 80 million systems sold last time in the 360 generation and 80 million plus sold for PlayStation and tell me there wasn't a crap ton of cross connection on that. Everybody had both systems. Not everybody,
No,
a good
20
majority.
No,
Probably
Almost
about
a decade ago.
probably
You know
I,
things have
I
changed,
guarantee
right?
you about
Look, no.
40 million of those people had both systems.
You don't know
'Cause there
that.
is
First of all, we don't know that, and second of all, right now, what we do know is 26% of gamers own multiple consoles. So the majority of people only own
right
one
now.
console. Yeah, right now, and that's probably not going to change because this generation was a generation where Sony got its claws into an ecosystem.
So
they
where's
didn't
the other
have last
20
gen.
million consoles that were sold last generation?
What 20 million? I'm talking about 26% of people own.
Well, no, I'm just saying. So there was close to 170 million systems sold last generation. This generation, if you just take Xbox One and PS4 and you give Xbox generously 40 million systems, that's 104. So there's 40 million systems out there that's not accounted for that were sold. Now there's some little flexibility
you
in
gotta
that
remember
because Microsoft did have
that generation
Microsoft
was
did
like
have to
that
have a
generation
thing where
was
they
like
had to
9 years
resell systems
long.
to people.
The generation was
This
9
was
years
going-
long.
No,
This is 6 years. How is 6 and 9 the
Oh yeah,
same?
six, 2008. So
Yeah.
we're going on 6. Well, no, you also got to remember they stopped selling those goddamn systems like that. It was
And
a
you got to
dry
remember, a
spell
lot
for
of
the
people.
first
Remember,
last 2 years.
people
of it.
also bought multiple 360s because of the Red Ring too.
No, and I said there's some flex in there because of that, just because of that. So you say take 10 million of that and say, or 5 million of that and say they were because of the Red Ring.
Well, I think you were. I don't know, man.
Look, man,
I hear what
y'all
you're
just-
saying, but
y'all-
the math doesn't add up.
It does add up, dude. Listen,
Doesn't.
people,
It doesn't add-
a lot of people. Why you think they released this? Is
Oh, my goodness.
perfect example. Microsoft, Sony re-released Last of Us because of what? They came out and said because, like, what did they say? Like 30% of the player base that's on PlayStation right now didn't own a PlayStation last generation. They owned a different system. And we know it was, and some of them were Wii's and some of them were Xbox or 360s and some probably were PC and whatever. But they said that 36% of their player base at the earlier part of the generation did not own a PS3 or a PlayStation console ever. So a lot of those people went over
New
to
gamers.
PlayStation. And
A lot of those people were brand
They-
new gamers.
So
Okay.
I just don't look. I don't see people at this point because PS5 is gonna be backwards compatible. I don't see a lot of PS4 gamers going and you got to remember, only less than a third will own multiple consoles. Um, I don't see them.
Okay.
I don't see like a mass. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't see a lot of people. I'll be honest. I don't see a lot of people switching teams next generation. I think the
I'm
laws have
not
been,
saying people are going to switch teams. You
but I
don't
mean,
have to switch teams.
but I don't. I think you'll have the hardcore gamers. I think a percentage of those folks, like maybe a quarter of what we see now, maybe that fluctuates a little bit. Will own multiple consoles.
Dude, there's people out there like B had a 360 and a PS3 last generation. Doesn't even have an Xbox this generation. I think he had one at one point and he got rid of it. He's had multiple PlayStations and stuff. People, you think of all those content creators, like the Xbox side of the Xbox side of the ecosystem. Most of us guys, we have both systems because we love Xbox.
Yo, Forte, you gonna answer my question?
No, what was your question? I didn't see it. I didn't hear you.
Does he have a PC?
He does have a PC, but that wasn't the
where
thing
he's
early.
buying the game.
But also they weren't doing the PC thing back when he didn't have an Xbox. So he didn't have
the
an
point
Xbox
we're
40.
trying to tell you. That's the point we're trying to tell you.
Okay.
People aren't buying the Xbox.
Let's just move
to
away
play
from this
Halo.
conversation because this conversation is not a void now.
I love it. It's a spirited debate. Forte, I appreciate your points of view, man. I really do, man.
Just remember this conversation a year from now.
Yes, yeah.
It's going to be remembered.
Please.
Don't worry.
Hey, man, if we eat crow, we eat crow. It's all good, man, you know? But if you're wrong, Lucas got receipts.
That's fine. That's fine. I love receipts. Receipts are they're the breakfast of champions.
I don't even know how we got to this conversation, by the way.
I don't know. I said
I don't need. Yeah.
Shout out to Microsoft, man. You out here making those moves.
Plus, you coming to the GameStop.
You coming to the GameStop conference this year. That's what I'm talking about.
They sign Ninja and get a hot looking console. All of a sudden, they're making moves. All right,
man. They got both of you guys back on board. They show a hot looking console. Enrique just pulling the shirt up, flashing Phil Spencer. They signed Ninja, and now all of a sudden we got Forte over here talking about they're gonna sell 5 million consoles in 2 months.
Enrique, are you literally are you like the guy are you like what's the name in the Water Boy when they're throwing the ball and he got his shirt up in the air as the ball is going slow motion through the air and he's showing his titties and stuff? Is that you right now?
Man, I don't even know what to say to that. No. That's just weird, man. He said,
what's his fucking name?
I hope you're not thinking about me, Forte, like that with my shirt up.
I always think about you with your shirt up, man.
Boy. All right. So big shout out to Gaming Addict of the IOP. He says people will buy a console if it got games right now. Xbox don't got games, but if they change,
I'll play Halo.
That could change overnight. OBJ Don says, so the same people who went the whole gen without playing Halo are gonna all of a sudden buy an Xbox for Halo next gen.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Here's another reason why that's probably not going to happen.
Because of Stadia.
The whole tariff situation.
Oh,
well, that's a completely
different
that. Story right there.
Yeah, that's Can we elect a new president? I'm not trying to get political. Can we get this? Can we get
we got with this damn this fool?
Can we get this? Can we get him out of office already? Look, let's just all admit it. This was a bad experiment. It went bad.
We will be electing a new president.
I don't think so.
Around the same time, these consoles going to be coming out. So, unfortunately,
everybody should send Hillary. Everybody should send Hillary Clinton bad Twitter messages because she blew this. I'd rather have her.
She should have never ran. Anyhow, but I don't want to get into politics, but I do want to get into another topic. So have you guys seen this? Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony are banding together to disclose loot boxes. Have you guys seen this?
I heard about that, yeah.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Okay, hold on just a second. Let me pull the story back up because I just had it, and then I was looking at, I was trying to look up sales numbers while we're talking about the what's it called? This gen or whatever. So as of
OBJ funny, yo.
What do you say?
He said my man Forte got a tinfoil new era cap.
As long as it's got the Patriots on the front of it, sir, I'll wear that hat.
Yo, you were drinking that juice, man. Okay, all right. So
I'll wear that hat with pride as long as a Patriots on the front of it.
Oh my goodness,
it's better than those Washington Redskins. I'm sorry.
Look, man,
we're garbage. We're
You,
garbage.
We
y'all
are
had a
so
chance.
demoralized that you can send us. You can all the
Look,
insults you
man,
want.
you
It
guys are.
does not matter. We don't respond back. We like, yeah, you're
What
right.
does Stephen A. Smith say? It's like he said they like the Dallas Cowboys. When something's bad, when it can happen, go bad, it will go bad. Just like Alex Smith going down, it was looking real good at 6-2.
Yeah, it was. I was excited, and then well, there he goes. Bye
It's
bye.
over.
Bye bye.
I was just waiting for the other shoe to
You just
drop. I'm
looking for
like,
the other
at some
shoe to
point,
fall.
this is going to change.
Yeah, you know
Well,
what? Hey,
Alex
slow
Smith
mo.
went
Broken
down and
leg,
it
there
all
we go.
changed.
Slow mo. You know what's funny, man? You're right. I was like, oh, this is 6-2. I was like, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen.
I was just
That's
waiting.
how I
I
feel
was
about the
just
Lions.
waiting for the bad thing to happen. And oh yeah, you
Waiting
lose
for
That's
the
on
bit.
how I
first
feel
game.
about my Lions. When's Matthew Stafford going to turn back into a pumpkin?
Oh boy. All right. So
Just
Microsoft.
like you have two football teams.
Yeah. Sony, Microsoft.
Well, I'm not a Lions fan, so I
Hey,
just live
hey.
in Michigan.
All right. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo are going to disclose. They've agreed to disclose the odds for loot boxes now. This is going to take place 2020. They've agreed to disclose the odds of obtaining highly sought after gear inside loot boxes. They're going to require this of developers to disclose this information to the public. And I'll tell you what, this initiative does not extend to PC, by the way. But I got to say, this is actually good. I'm glad that the industry is kind of policing itself because, as we know, there was, I think, like Sweden, some other countries in Europe, and even here in the U.S., I know in Hawaii, one of the senators in Hawaii wanted to regulate, I think, loot boxes as like gambling, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But there was definitely bipartisan legislation on the tables to regulate the industry, and glad that the industry stepped up, Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft specifically, and kind of took this in their own hands and not allowing the government to kind of step in and regulate. So, what do you guys think? I know we've talked a lot about loot boxes here in the past. Chief Tomei, hopefully you're excited about this because I know Chief's big. He's against loot boxes, but I'll go to you, Slimmo. What are your thoughts on this, man?
I think this is good. It's a step in the right direction. It's not that. So it's good, but at the same time, these companies weren't the biggest offenders.
Right.
Like Activision, EA.
Yeah.
EA stance is like, and was it Sweden? I don't remember which country it is in maybe Denmark, but I can't remember which country it is in Europe. But they made loot boxes illegal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
EA's like, no, you're not. I'm like, this is their country. They can make whatever they want illegal. How are you going to tell them what they're going to do? But that's how much revenue that, like, if EA in these odds, like that's one thing. But like, if you completely eliminate loot boxes, that's the grand bulk of EA's revenue. It's essentially what their company runs on. The Ultimate Team microtransactions for FIFA and Madden, everything else for the whole company. So
Right.
it was Belgium. And then if like they were really concerned because like if lying down and then say the UK picks that up too, and then other countries do, and then the United States does, EA might as well call it a wrap. They're gonna have to start selling devs. They're gonna have to start doing a whole bunch of different things because the bulk of their revenue's gone. Now, when I'm not saying that as screw EA, I don't care. But that's, I know I'm just acknowledging why they're acting that way. But as far as I'm concerned, you should have never built your business around microtransactions and not making good games in the first place. So you made your bed, now lie in it. Microsoft and Sony and disclosing that's great, but it really kind of shows to me that they are somewhat of legislation coming down that they don't want to deal with. So they're trying to get ahead of it. Like, hey, look. The odds up, okay? We'll put the odds up. So you ain't got to do nothing else. Yeah. We got this. Don't worry about it. We'll put the odds up, which like, okay, I like that they're trying to regulate themselves, but it should never got to this point in the first place. And I'm not totally against the government jumping in and doing certain things. Although with politicians they don't know anything about gaming. Clearly, with the nonsense they've been saying this past week about video games fueling fueling these mass shootings, which is complete nonsense. They don't understand anything about gaming. So it's likely they could try to push a bill out that is complete worse.
Yeah.
So I think it's a step in the right direction. And I'm glad at least they're doing something. But again, this is like, you need to get like guys like EA doing this.
Well, actually, to your point, Slimo, the developers that have agreed to this actually include Activision Blizzard, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Bungie, EA, Take-Two Interactive, Ubisoft, Wizards of the Coast, and Warner Brothers. So
Okay.
so yeah, they're
basically everyone that's in the ESA.
yeah, and actually the ESA,
Literally everyone that's in the ESA.
Yep, exactly. And the ESA actually made this. The ESA is a freaking mess, by the way. The ESA, yeah, with those leaks. The ESA,
the leaks.
yeah. I want to ask you guys about that in a second here. The ESA actually on Wednesday at a FTC workshop, Federal Trade Commission workshop, actually on loot box consumer protection issues, made this announcement. So yeah, I think this is good. What are your thoughts, Forte?
I mean, I think it's an amazing. It's a step in the right direction. I mean, the biggest thing is everybody wants to just know what odds are on these loot boxes, and only people like EA, up until recently, started disclosing stuff like that. But they didn't even want to do that much, So the fact that they want to start getting ahead of this is one of the best things they can do. I think people don't have a problem with spending money. The problem want to know what are their chances of getting certain things. If you can go to, I mean, that's why Vegas gives you odds on everything, and exactly what the chances of you getting what you want to get out of those odds. And if they can start doing that on a consistent more basis across even more of the developers and publishers, I think it's always going to be a win-win because it's a big business. That's one thing that a lot of people can't deny. Gambling and putting your money to the test to see if you can find a way to get either what you want out of something or just to make more money is the American way. I mean, it's capitalism 101, and people don't mind spending money like that. I want to know exactly what my money's going towards and the chances of me getting the items I want. The only other thing they can do that's better than this is just make stuff available for you to just pre-purchase without having to worry about gambling on boxes and stuff like that. Give us the currency or give us the option to buy the items directly from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the only other thing they can do a little bit better, because that's something that some developers do, like Bungie does that with Destiny. They give you the option to buy a lot of the stuff, but even then there's a lot of stuff that you can't buy that way. You have to go through the box system to get it. So it's a give and take, but I think this is a really, really good thing that they're doing. I just want to see more people adopt this type.
Yeah, excuse me. Let me ask you something, Forte. Since you play Destiny a lot,
Thought in a row.
Yeah.
What happened? Forte, you there?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, you bought it out there for a sec.
Oh, what was the last thing you heard me say?
I forget now.
Oh my.
Yeah, something about.
No, I said I just agree. I think overall, as long as other developers other developers get on board with this, I think it's a great idea. I just want to see more consistency across the whole gaming sphere, not just a few developers that understand how important this is for people to have knowledge on this type of stuff.
Yeah, let me ask you something. So you play a lot of Destiny. I mean, let's say Destiny starts, disclosing loot drops, whatever. The percentage of you likely getting a certain weapon or whatever. And let's say do you think that might turn some people off if they see that? Wow, it's I got a 5% chance of getting this. I don't want to fuck around with it. You think that could? Possibly...
I mean, no, I don't think so, because they do disclose some of the percentages of some of the weapons and how much it will how much you have to do a certain activity just to get said thing,
Mm-hmm.
like what the drop rate of something is.
Yep.
I mean, I know that's not the same as spending money on it, but it's still, in some cases, money is more important than, less important than time to people. And I don't think that stops people from grinding out the items they want. So I think percentages will just basically kind of let people know, like, is this going to be something that's going to take me this long to do, or am I going to be doing this for a very long time to do it?
Yeah. Okay. What about Mother
I
Live
think
Chats?
I think it will affect it.
You think so?
I think it will. Same reason why when EA, I think again, this might have been either Belgium or some other European country, forced EA to start divulging the odds or the percentages for the FIFA Ultimate cards, and the very top players. Even then, they wouldn't give you the exact percentage. So like for like basic players, it was like 40%. Then it was like for your decent or really good players, like 20%. But for like the top players, they just said less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
So even then, they wouldn't even give you the exact percentage. Like, and you look at that and you're like,
Less than
man,
1%.
now that I know for certain what the odds are, I'm never getting Fabio, whatever his name is. That's
why is he gotta be
great
Fabio?
It could be Ronaldo or something.
Yeah.
It gotta be
Slow-mo,
Fabio.
why does it have to be
Rodrigo.
Fabio?
I don't know. Like I feel like I don't watch like soccer like that. So like I feel like every time I see anything about some great soccer player, his name's like Fabio, whatever.
What? I don't know any soccer name. Fabio.
Man, I don't watch the sport. Okay,
you could come up with like Ronaldo. There's like 50 of those.
That's it. Look, I was close. Ronaldo, that's his name.
Like Pele or something. He don't even play soccer. He don't even play soccer no more.
He said Fabio, that dude who used to the model of the books. Yo, Salty said Fabio. He said I'm dead. Yo, that was funny, Slow-mo. He's like, Fabio, I'm not kidding.
He said, what is this dude's name?
But you're right though, Slow-mo. Like less than 1% isn't really that encouraging either. It's like, he
knows less than 1% of the damn soccer players in the world.
Oh my god.
God damn, Slow-mo.
Someone went back to playing Fire Emblem now. He's like, I'm gonna go back to playing Fire Emblem. Yeah, definitely a step in the right direction. One by Mother says being pro or anti-consumer doesn't have anything to do with charging people for add-ons. It's about transparency and options.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, Fabio is a porn star name, according to Indie Gamer. Oh my goodness. All right, so speaking of the ESA guys, this wasn't officially on the topics, but this whole leaks thing got out of control, man. And I knew the ESA was a mess because I did read a Vanity Fair article back in May of this year that talked about a lot of dysfunction that was happening internally at the ESA, and how their executive director at the time was just a dick and just mistreating employees, playing favoritism, making people crunch, like work like 16-hour days. To the point where developers, even Phil Spencer himself, paid a visit to the ESA to make sure everything was okay. But now we have these leaks. I mean, the one reporter who works with Colin Moriarty, I forget her name now, Sophia something rather the other, broke this news story on even her, and I'm not going to get into what happened with her, but even she got actually, I don't know if attack's the right word, maybe it is, by her fellow journalists who said that she was leaking information. I think Jason Schreier said, "Oh, she's leaking, the names." I'm like, no, she's reporting it, you fool. It's the one that sometimes, you know what, I like Jason, but sometimes he just says stuff and I'm just like kind of raise an eyebrow. But yeah, a lot of the attendees, journalists, home phone numbers, emails, work numbers were basically leaked on the internet, and it's crazy. I remember actually Italian Clowns are the one who turned me on to the story. He's like, "Hey man, have you seen the spreadsheet?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's called the ESA leak. I'm like, "What?"
It's called the ESA leak.
Yeah, but it's crazy, and like this is not good. This is not good at all, and apparently like this, there was kind of red flags going back to February, and the ESA kind of just really didn't do anything, from my understanding. And I don't know, guys. I mean, do you think this has any impact on E3? Like, I don't want to say this is going to cause the demise of E3,
It's
but
gonna cause the demise of
Going a
the
little far.
ESA.
well, if the ESA
I,
goes, there's no E3.
they actually they fund and organize like there
Yeah.
was no E3 before the ESA, and us will pick it up if they were to go away, but more than likely it will be just something completely different.
Right.
I don't think E3 is going away. I know there's some people that think like E3 is done now. I don't think that's going to happen. They have a full year to confidence back, and I think we talked about this in DM as well. And I think the only way that they can do that is if they come out, they admit what happened, they admit that they are and they don't need to be doing this any further, and they outsource their IT, their cybersecurity, their entire network infrastructure to a contractor in Washington, D.C. There are IT contractors all over this area. You can throw a rock and hit a one that doesn't have a contract and just can't wait to get one. And to be honest, they did was just complete amateur hour nonsense. And
But
it's not just this
how?
year's E3. The last year's E3 was done the same way. So all the information was out there. This is how they can been consistently doing it. You cannot have really like that on public facing systems, period. If it's on your web page, it's on a web server. That should be in a DMZ. It should be in the area, in a subnet, in a network that you already know. Public people on the outside that you don't know are looking at this stuff. At no point should you have information that should be confidential. You do. Why? That's stupid. It should have never happened in the first place.
Like that you know what? It's a major gaffe. It's common sense. It's a common sense thing. You don't put people's personal information on your webpage. You don't do that. And it just blows my mind.
This is why I said they need to outsource it to actual professional
But
IT
slow-mo.
organization, because
Slow-mo.
then they would have been like,
But isn't it common sense, dude?
sense. But like apparently that's not very common within the ESA. so so they need somebody to help them. How about this? Because after they got rid of that guy that was running the ESA.
Yeah.
They have yet to name a successor.
Yeah.
How about you get someone to actually run this organization and be held responsible for this? How about you do that first? Look at like a lot of the board members, and you look at these board members.
I'm sorry.
People that we know.
I'm sorry, Slow. Ryan Landis says E3 will start showing up at local fairgrounds like old rock bands from the 80s. Oh my God, it's hilarious. Oh man. I'm sorry, Slow. Go ahead, man.
No, it's just like I have to question the people who are on the board.
Well, the people that are on the board
appointing the next person to run the ESA.
The people that are on board are like Phil Spencer's on the board.
Randy Pitchford.
Randy Pitchford's on the board. Yeah. Hey, why don't we nominate Randy Pitchford?
Damn, you really want that guy to run it?
No, I want Randy Pitchford to not even be running Gearbox.
No,
but he's on the board of the ESA.
Can you imagine Randy running the ESA?
How we know he don't?
Yeah, you want to have the ESA just go away. Yeah,
Randy be knocking people out.
Yeah, you can't run a nonprofit organization the way you run Gearbox, Randy. Sorry,
Randy. They'd be like, "Hey, what happened to all the E3, buddy? It's gone." Randy be like, "Don't look at me." Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. It's crazy. It is crazy how.
Yes.
Ryan Lance says, "Imagine Randy with all those phone numbers." That's too funny. But it what's crazy?
You prank calling all the press, all the content creators.
Distracted by Life said Luca should run the ESA.
I don't know about that one.
Luca might get terminated.
Yeah, they may get rid of Luca. They were like, look, she's I don't even know where she comes from. She just walks in the room. I don't see her over my desk, and then I just hear screaming and yelling. And
Don't see her at desk. Oh, that's terrible. I'm tired of pushing around her high chair.
Luca would have employees on their hands and knees as her footstool so she can stand on top of them and address the whole team.
That's terrible, man. Oh man.
What's your job here at the ESA? Well, I'm Luca's footstool.
Oh, her footstool. She be in the conference room, the boardroom. She be standing on the desk, walking back and forth.
Standing on the desk ranting.
Oh my God. Oh, that's okay.
Stop, let me stop.
Let's stop.
We love you, Luca.
Mad love for Luca. So, yeah, it's just and apparently, some developers and journalists were called by like angry people, like
and that's I think that's what people in the media were upset with the journalists that exposed this about. Now, I don't disagree with her doing it because it needed to be done.
Well, she tried it. She even reached out to them, some journalists ahead of time to warn them.
And she reached out to the ESA and they did nothing. Yeah. And apparently someone else who found out about what happened, like the same practice last year, and let them know that this was, and they did nothing about it either. So this now it's been taken down, but it wouldn't have happened if she didn't blow it up to the world, out there. And yeah, it sucks that people getting doxxed, the people are getting death threats and all this, like that's terrible. But let's place the blame for that to the people who deserve it, not the person who blew the whistle, but blame for allowing it to happen and blame the losers who are doing the death threats.
Yeah.
And who try to help these people get their information off the internet.
Yeah. Well, she did, like I said, she, before she actually published her video about the information breach, she, like you said, she did reach out to the ESA, like you mentioned, and even attempted to contact some of the journalists to make them aware of the privacy page. And this is after she saw the page containing the leaked information had been removed. So, so the information had been removed, and she hadn't blown the whistle yet, but the damage had been done already. So right. I mean, at that point, the information's already out there. So I mean, it's just
the thing is that the information had been out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's not a good look for the ESA. It really isn't.
It makes them look like they're amateurs, and they don't really. And so in regards to next year, this is going to be, if they continue where they're at right now, where they just took it down and they ain't really saying anything, and they're not apologizing, and they're not really trying to make amends and show people that this is not going to happen again. See next year a lot of content creators and a lot of people in, like, say, IGN or the Funny or whatever, like these bigger gaming media sources saying, or like Kotaku saying, I ain't going. I don't know what's going to happen to my information. And so they do something to address this. And I can't say whether that's going to happen or not, because like we said, there's no one really in charge. People are just kind of continuing to do the job they were doing when the crazy guy was in charge, and there's really no oversight to that. That's really the people who are the board that has the oversight, all of them are running their own companies, doing their own things. They can't really oversee this. Phil Spencer can't be there every day to take care of this stuff.
Yep.
None of the other board members can really do that. They need that. That's why they hired someone to do that in the first place. Having that person there is a problem. So until they actually address everything that's going on, make real change within their organization, Yeah, a lot of people are going to be like, I'm not going next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mess, man. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable. That's a good point. So if I was a journalist, I mean, I'm like, yo, I'm not giving you my information. You know, it's funny they took away what's his face's badge from Kind of Funny, or revoked his rights or something like that. Greg Miller, right? Because they
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that
because they said he gave his badge to someone else to
the show
like
was.
go out somewhere and then come back.
I don't know what happened, but he's like the show was based.
Something
He's like the show
silly,
was over. He's like the conference was over at that point, you know. And here they are trying to revoke him, and they can't. And they got this mess.
and they can't even keep his information from being all over the internet.
Yeah, yeah. I want to get to Gamescom 2019. It's right around the corner. Your boy Slow-Mo Kojima is going to premiere exclusive new look footage at Death Stranding during Gamescom 2019. And
Joy,
what? What did you say?
joy.
Oh, you're not happy about that, man? Come on, it's your boy.
I don't care.
He said joy. I guess he doesn't. I guess he doesn't feel like Jeff Keighley about him.
Hey Forte,
No,
hey
I
Forte,
don't have dreams
watch?
of.
Remember, hey Forte, remember how Slow-Mo didn't like Nintendo Switch?
I do.
And now he's like doesn't like Kojima.
I do.
I didn't say I don't like. I just don't care about the game. I'm gonna give it a shot.
You watch. He's gonna give it a shot. He's
But
gonna
I'm
be
not
like,
really.
he's
You
gonna
don't
like.
like.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
No. I was gonna say you don't like you don't like pocket ladders coming
Yeah, I
out
knew
and
you were
being
gonna say
football.
Go gadget ladder. No, I don't like.
I was talking to
the post-apocalypse Inspector Gadget. I don't really care for it.
I was talking to my Sony rep. He came into my store the other day, and I was talking to him about that. I was like, "Man, what's up with this go gadget ladder?"
Did he laugh?
He's like, "Bro, I don't know."
Hey,
He was like, "But that," he said, "But that game though, y'all gonna sell a bunch of copies of it, right?"
Forte, I let me tell you something, man. I met a Sony rep at
PC too.
Forte, I met a Sony rep at GameStop one time, right? This lady had to be like 50 years old, man. Sound like she smoked 8 packets of cigarettes a day.
God damn.
I
Was
was
she a living rep or a?
No, she was. I was like, you're a Sony rep? She's like, yeah. I'm like, what? I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, you're a Sony rep? She's like, yeah, I work for Sony.
Those reps go to E3 and PlayStation Experience too.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, I couldn't believe it. What did you say about Sony? What happened?
No, I said those reps go to the PlayStation Experience and they go to E3.
I got to be honest with you, Forte. She did not strike me as someone who's a gamer.
Most of them aren't.
You know, really? I'm like, you got to work for Sony or PlayStation rep? You should at least be a gamer.
Come on, man. How many people work at GameStop and ain't gamers?
I don't know. All the
She's a sales rep. Like if you look at the pharmaceutical industry, it's not like those people who are like Viagra using the drugs.
Right? They're not recreational users of their product.
Right. They got some talking point, and they know what to say to try to get the doctors or the hospital or the clinic to buy their drug.
Let me tell you about
It's
this.
different in the gaming industry. You're there to sell a game. They don't play games. They just know what to say.
Let me tell you about this new Viagra that just came out.
Oh my god,
it works.
But no, like I am very interested in Gamescom, especially considering a lot of the games that I've been covering on my channel are going to be showing more content there.
Dude. That video, by the way, was awesome.
Which one?
The 4 games you looked at that you cover from China Joy.
Yeah.
What's the one that looks like? There's one that looks like Near Automata.
AI Limit.
Yes, yo, that game was fire. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm really really forward to that one. The China Hero Project is really showing some really good games. I'm so glad that Sony and Epic are really helping those developers just
Yes.
get off the ground. Some of them have been making just mobile games, and some of them haven't made a game yet at all. But they had great ideas and just no resources. So it's awesome to see them doing that for them. And we probably won't see any of those games that I had in that video at Gamescom. That's why they showed them at China Joy 2019. But the games that are in like the first phase of the China Hero Project should be there, at least some of them. Excuse me. Boundary is going to be there, which is like the Zero G tactical shooter.
Yeah.
Soul Aside should be there.
What about the Breath of the Wild
Like the
clone?
darling of the China Hero Project. And that's supposed to come out sometime this year. I'm expecting that the developer will announce the release date at Gamescom as well. So I mean, I'm really excited for a lot of like brand new games, and Disintegration is going to be there. So we will see some actual gameplay instead of just a 1-minute teaser. So.
Yeah. What about what was the Breath of the Wild clone? I call it Breath of the Wild clone.
It's not a clone, but a lot of people feel that way.
Yo,
but
Nintendo fans got got no tizzy about it.
They are extremely
Which game?
angry. And I bet you the game's coming on the Switch, they wouldn't be that mad though. It's called Genshin Impact.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I signed up for the beta. Hopefully, I can get it in and give it a shot. The beta is on PC and mobile. The current beta is on PC and mobile. The next round of the beta will be on PlayStation 4. So I signed up for it, and hopefully I can get in and be able to, because they have no problem with allowing people to record their gameplay and put it up. So I'm going to do all that.
Nice, dude.
And if you get it on PC, I mean that PC on mobile.
No, you got PlayStation 4. I thought.
No, he said it's available on PC, mobile, and on mobile and PS4. It's a mobile code.
The developer is called MiHoYo, and their first game was a mobile game. They've already kind of like, this game was originally supposed to just come out on mobile and then later on come out on PC, and then Sony saw it and was like, this looks really good, let's publish this. And so Sony became their publisher. Now it's coming out PS4, now it's coming out on PC. It's going to be like a simultaneous launch, and the next beta but the next beta for the game is going to be on PS4 too.
Hey, let me ask you something, Slow-Mo. Do you think Jeff Keighley cries on opening night live?
Yeah, he's gonna cry. He's gonna have a little half chub going when Kojima
that's
comes
terrible,
out.
man. Half chub.
You see, that's the one thing about Discord. You see the names that we have up.
Was it DT Roof 49? Actually, what's the name of the game with the rabbit with the mechanical fist? It's called Fist, I think. It's called Fist. That one looks pretty cool. I know a lot of people who like side scrollers.
That's not a good name for a game.
That one.
It's not a good name for a game.
No.
Fist.
No.
Look, it looks cool though. I'm just not into that kind of game, so I didn't have that in my list of like the
where's your mind at, sir?
I mean, Ricky needs to get it together.
We gotta take a cold shower.
For real.
But like Slow-Mo's voice brings it out of me.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
His voice brings it out of me.
Oh god.
Oh, Slow-Mo. I thought you were gonna say Kojima brings it out of you.
Slow-Mo's Kojima. I'm Jeff Keighley.
Oh man,
Slow-Mo feels uncomfortable. He's like, all right, okay. I'm sorry, Slow-Mo. Go ahead, man.
Fisting.
I didn't say that. I didn't. Oh, see, you didn't. Forte. You didn't have to say it aloud, though, man.
I'm just reading the chat.
Yeah, but you have to read that in the chat, man.
Hey.
YouTube's gonna give me a strike.
I don't know, man. Look, man, I'm gonna need
Yeah,
you to.
yeah. The game was called Fist, and it's a rabbit with like a mechanical arm on his
Yeah,
back. But
yeah,
it's pretty cool because it does all these different
yeah.
like combinations, and you can do
It sure
combos and
does.
stuff like that.
Oh boy,
Um,
Forte,
together, seriously.
Forte. Whose mind's in the gutter now, man?
I'm just messing with you at this point now because you feel like you over there having a.
Hey, let's not read anything that distracted my life.
What's
Say, by the
going
way.
on with your? What's going on?
Jeez. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, man. So the rabbit, he's got the fist, and he's
Stop it! Can we just get away from this this
We
subject?
ain't
Go watch Slow-Mo's video if you want to know more about power.
hey, y'all.
First
Check.
of all, that game is not on my video, so don't go telling people to go watch my video for a game that's not there.
I want to see a rabbit take
Video is about Anon Mutinum, Mutationum. I don't know. But that one looks pretty cool because it's got like that pixel art look. Oh, like the action is real fast paced.
Yeah, it's like a side scroller, right?
Yeah.
That's
But
actually
then
pretty
there's
cool.
like when you're in the city, and the city has a lot of that cyberpunk feel to it.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
got like it's more open world and not just like it seems like the side scrolling parts are just the parts where you're doing combat. So it goes back and forth, which is that's
I
pretty
think
cool.
that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I actually
And
like
then
I like
the shooter. The shooter though, Convaleria. That one is going to be really awesome because it's multiplayer too. You got like it looks like what shooter did it remind me of? I can't remember what shooter it reminds me of, but
Yo, Distracted's crazy, man.
it's worse a fist or a ladder.
Oh my god. Yo, this thing has gone sideways fast. I don't know what happened.
Oh my god.
Oh no, not
is-
like this.
this is-
Not like this. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's not repeat that. But are you guys gonna be watching opening night live for Gamescom?
The 19th?
Yes.
Yeah, I might just take off of work because a lot of the games that I'm covering on my channel are going to be there, and I just kind of feel like, you know what? Think I'm going to be like much use at work because I'm trying to like watch this off my phone or something. So, I probably would take off on the 19th, but yeah, I'm definitely watching.
Yeah. So looks like Activision will be there, Bungie, EA, Epic Games, Google Stadia, the future of gaming, the future of all gaming. Google Stadia will be there. Square Enix, PlayStation, Xbox will be there. So yeah, this is cool. I think this is cool that Jeff's doing this. I think it's a good way to kick off Gamescom. I feel like Gamescom's kind of not. I mean, obviously it's not like maybe on the same level as E3. Actually, I think it's. Well, I think in terms of fan attendance, they probably get more fans there.
Probably.
Yeah, but I feel
But
like
you know, it's a smaller event, and then like right after E3, publishers just don't have anything else to show.
yeah, but E3 tends to have a little more like star power. It gets more like attention. So I think this is a good way. I think opening night's a good way, maybe get some of that.
Well, except for the fact that I think this is also on the 19th. Isn't that supposed to be an Inside Xbox on the 19th as
It's
well?
supposed to be, I think.
Oh, it's
There's this rumor that they may show a game that they didn't show at E3.
What, Gears of War gameplay?
I mean, I think that's probably going to be a given.
No, it's not. That's not going to happen.
Oh, there's some people who think it's going to be Fable.
It's not.
Which
not.
It's
I
not.
don't think that's it.
They're gonna
either.
say
I don't
that for
think it's
X.
gonna
They're gonna say that for X19.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's
I can
not
see
happening
that
either.
showing in November.
Look, man,
You wanna show me
have you
anything?
completely lost your Xbox chop, sir, over the last couple of weeks?
Dude, let me just tell you something. Why would I think? I mean, every Xbox event, it's always they're going to show Fable, and then they don't show it. Oh,
Look,
they're going to show
man, you
Fable.
gotta have some type of faith.
Why
man.
would I?
If
It's
you-
starting to become like Splinter Cell.
Right.
Yeah, it's just not
But
gonna
look,
happen.
you got, if
People
not for
like,
your
"We're gonna
listen,
show
bro, you
Splinter
run.
Cell."
I
Like,
think, first of all, Microsoft is not smart enough to do something like that. They're just not.
Listen,
no, I should say, if
Enrique.
they're smart, they'll wait to eat. No, you know what? They're going to do it at E3 next year, when they unveil Scarlet. They're gonna drop Fable because
Listen, Enrique.
Phil doesn't like showing things early. He said that.
Listen, Enrique,
Oh,
you run
boy.
a podcast. You have a gaming related podcast. You need to give your fans hope that they're going to, even if you don't believe it, you got to be God golly. Microsoft is going to finally come out. I mean, shit, this whole. Yeah,
I am not here to lie to anyone.
We ain't going to act like most of the people in this community don't lie.
I'm not going to sit here and lie.
You ain't gonna lie to your people and say that Microsoft. We ain't, but see, that's just you're not even taking the chance on it. You ain't got to say 100%. You can just say, this is my educated guess that Microsoft is going to do it.
Okay, I don't think it's happening. Maybe I don't think it's
I will say this: if they do show a game that they haven't shown before, it's going to be like an indie title.
Oh God!
Or like a double.
It's not going to be any.
It's going to be Cuphead 2,
or like a double A game from one of their newly acquired studios.
Oh God!
I don't even think it's going to be that. I don't even think it's going to be a game from that's coming published by Xbox.
Yeah, I agree with Slow-Mo.
It's going to be something that we come completely out on, saw or was looking for, and people will be like, "Oh, that's it."
Are these the droids you're looking for? Is this the game you're looking for?
Oh boy, not like this.
Man, yeah. I mean, like the indie gamers. I think Fable is absolutely happening. I just think that apparently, but maybe it just seems like because Phil refuses to show anything too early, or what he considers to be too early, that we're not going to see anything from Fable for a long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't
apparently just like they're not far enough in development. Like it's not coming out next year.
No, I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think it's going to happen at X19 because Phil doesn't like showing things early. He should. I mean, if he just threw Fable up on the screen, people will go nuts. Just do it.
That's all he has to do.
All he has to do. Dude, just put your pride aside, Phil. Put your pride aside. Stop. And by the way, stop unfollowing people, Phil. Stop getting sensitive about people.
That's really a bad look.
No, he never followed me, but he unfollowed someone else that he followed for years.
He's unfollowed multiple people.
Yeah, because they were critical of his of the Xbox. And that's come on.
Look, man, you got to be like Sir Taz, man. If you don't want a crazy timeline, you got to kind of just mute and block people.
Right. Yeah. I don't know why he doesn't use the mute button.
Yeah,
maybe he doesn't know that's a function in Twitter or something.
Don't get all sensitive.
Look, the Ash and Luca went on a tirade on Twitter this morning or yesterday morning about just use the damn mute button.
Yeah, use the mute button. That's all. I mean, Phil. You follow these people for years. When they were praising you, Xbox and Secret Sauce and blah blah blah, and I don't know, but when they were praising, but now that these people are critical, he's like, okay, I'm not going to follow you anymore. Like that's just, I don't get it. Anyhow, that's my Phil rant. Stop being soft, Phil, with the capital T.
Oh God.
And and we talked about this earlier in the podcast, and Enrique, you were talking about how like the big pops.
Yes.
At E3.
Yes.
And
big pops.
We were talking about how those big pops weren't really anything that big to be like how it was a trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake, which turned out that game wasn't even in like serious development at that time. Them out a Kickstarter on stage and saying Shenmue 3, that's even worse than just putting Fable up on a screen because they weren't even publishing that. Like that, there was going on. They hadn't even start. They just said Shenmue 3.
Yep.
Come fund it for us.
That was it.
Like, and big pop up on the screen. People would have lost it. They'll do that next year. Next E3.
Slow-mo.
Next E3, they'll do the Fable screen, and that's it. They won't show us nothing else.
The problem is that makes too much sense, man.
Right.
Too much sense. I mean, it just makes way too much sense for them to do it, and they're not going to do it. But I will say this: They did put out one sexy ass Gears 5 console though.
Oh, did you see this tweet that Eric put in the matter of fact, where is oh yeah, I think Eric said he couldn't
Yeah,
make it
he's
tonight.
off today. B's off today. Big shout out to Eric Jackson, B Money. We miss you guys. I did not
He,
see Eric's
he
tweet.
just put this tweet from Phil Spencer. So someone asked Phil Spencer, "Can you at least tell me more single player games are coming to Xbox in the years to come?" And then Phil actually responded to this guy and said, "Yes, I can confirm. With the additions to Xbox Game Studios, we have a lot of teams that have built strong single player focused games, and we want that to continue."
Okay.
That's interesting.
All right. I mean, yeah. Cool.
Now,
Uh
I'm going to dissect that. So
oh.
this is me dissecting it.
All right.
He can confirm.
Yeah.
He what he's saying is I can confirm those games are in development. We know Ninja Theory is working on another game outside of Bleeding Edge.
Yes.
We know
Yes.
Obsidian is working on another game outside of the Outer Worlds.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We know there are Compulsions also working on another game. So essentially, yeah, I mean, and then Double Fine, they just got them, and they're working on something that isn't the two games they've already announced. So yeah, okay, so maybe they are working on stuff like that. But he said with the additions to Xbox Game Studios, he's putting that focus on them, and they built strong single player focused games before. We want that to continue. But this also goes back to what I've said about how they acquired these developers, which like I've seen that, like, and we talked about that interview with all that roundtable that Game Informer had, and the Obsidian dev, the narrative director for the Outer Worlds for Obsidian, and she was just gushing and talking glowingly about being a part of Xbox Game Studios and how they don't like, we're still Obsidian. They don't like try to impose Microsoft onto our culture or anything that we're doing in house. It's just what I was saying before about how they really don't have any say so in what these studios do. It's just like they're just funding them. Hey, look, and the only caveat they have is that you got to put your games on the platforms that we say.
Yeah.
More. But otherwise, they're making the games they want to make. Bleeding Edge is a game that Ninja Theory was trying to get approved through publishers for years. Do it because they got that creative freedom to make whatever they want whenever they want. I mean, even with the rumors about Playground's second studio doing Fable, all the rumors say that Microsoft asked them, "Hey, this game that you're working on,
Yeah.
turn this into Fable," and it was their choice to do so. So, have any kind of control or anything, and that, for me, that's problematic. It's better than them just being like and being bad at publishing games. So they're overbearing. This just really forced companies like Bungie and BioWare elsewhere.
And Lionhead. They closed Lionhead.
And well, they shut Lionhead down.
Yeah.
But just I'm not concerned about the Ninja Theories and the Obsidians because they've proven that their track record is they can make good games.
Yeah.
In Exile to a certain degree, but their games are very niche. But the Compulsions, the Undead Labs, they need some direction. They need someone to go, hey, look, buggy as hell. Months or something? Do you need more people? You need to do some changes here. Like Compulsion, like, this game kind of sucks. Like, can you do something? We need to work on this. Like there's none of that, because with the way they acquired them is like, hey, look, this is how we got you to sign on. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
And you put your games on our platforms. Like, it's different. It's so different because like Sony has quality. But Sony don't do that. They have quality assurance. They're like, hey, look, we want you to make what you want. Like, now can go. You want to make The Last of Us. We want another Uncharted. Hey, you still make another Uncharted. You make whatever you want. Sony Santa Monica, here's our next God of War. That's trash. Do it again. Now it's God of War Game of the Year. Like, we don't, you don't have the opportunity to do that when you're just like, hey man, do whatever you want. Phil, to go back to the tweet, Phil saying, yeah, we're making single player games, but really it's like, yeah, I've seen them because my my teams who I hired are making them. I mean, but like, really, he's got no actual say in that. I think that's problematic because when we come to Phil and say we want single player games, the studios will be like, y'all make some single player games.
Yeah.
Well, he can. He just can't do it in the midst of them doing the games that they're doing now.
He really can't tell them what to do.
Well, no, he can tell them that
he
can. He's the boss. He can tell them what he like. He can tell them that he needs, have a board meeting with all his teams and like all the heads of his studios and say, this is a game. We need to come up with a game that's going to be a single player hit and ask which teams want to do it. I mean, it really just comes down.
But isn't it Matt Booty who's
that's
doing
still
that
asking which teams want to do it? What if none of them want to do it?
Well, I don't think that's an option.
Well, that's not an option. I mean, you got it at some point.
Hey,
at some point, you got to
about this. But he hired them. A freedom thing. I'm going to go tell them you're making this game. Got that creative freedom. So, hey, look, we just signed a deal with Disney. We get to do something with one of their Marvel properties. You guys want to do, and who wants to take it on? And what if all of them like, I'm good. They're all like that. He can't be like well, come on, guys, you're kind of making me look bad. Just sign this.
Yeah, no, I mean, look. There's definitely oversight. I don't think it's a total free for all there.
Not,
I mean, yeah. And actually, it's probably Matt Booty who's going to be supervising the studio since I think he's now the head of Xbox Studios, and Phil sits on the board of Microsoft with Satya Nadella and everyone else. But yeah, I mean, there's oversight. I'm sure there's creative freedom. They're probably not. It's probably not a situation like with Bungie, where Bungie wanted to do Destiny, and Microsoft's like, no. They're probably not like that anymore. But
I implore everyone to watch that interview. Roundtable, and it had Remedy there, it had Ready at Dawn there, it had Obsidian there, and there was one other dev I can't remember, but she was talking. She's like, "We're still Obsidian. We still make the games that we want to make." Like that.
That's good.
That's awesome, but that also is like, if like, let's say, go back to the scenario about Marvel.
You don't want them to go. You're afraid they're going to go full on Kojima.
Right. But imagine, like, Matt Booty goes to Obsidian. He's like, we can make an X-Men game.
Mm-hmm.
X-Men game? Yeah. Not really. But look, everyone's already told me no. So like, okay, like that's different than get to do what we want. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's different. Yeah, so like, really, when we go back to that tweet, it's just like he's just reporting what they doing. Yeah, some of them making single player games because that's what they do. Because that's what and I guess the only real control they have is the higher devs that they know. So like, if your next dev they hire, they purchase, really great at action adventure games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're gonna go after them because that's what we need for our portfolio.
Yeah.
Big, but the way we set this up, we can't really tell them what to do. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but that's how I've been seeing. I've read all the interviews from Brian Fargo with NXL, and he's been consistent in that kind of talk.
Yeah, they have been consistent.
I've seen this stuff with Obsidian and what they've been talking about, and all the devs. It seems like it's consistent that they do what they want.
Yeah,
they just got to put all their games on Xbox and PC.
Yep. Well, I mean, I think that's, like you said, that's probably the pitch, and I think that's I mean that's how they're going to get these people to come over. So you know, one by mother says, wish Microsoft let Jason Jones decide to make what he wanted. Yeah, he wanted Destiny, and one bad mother brings up wish Rare wasn't pigeonholed into Connect. That ruined Rare. So a lot of people left. So, um,
Microsoft could have had their second version of Halo if they would have just let Bungie do Bungie.
I know we've talked a lot about this on this podcast. That game
and
would have
and
fit perfect in
and they could have
Game
just
Pass.
moved. They could have still had 343, and
Yep.
the people that wanted to keep making Halo, they could have come over to 343 and took that off of Bungie's hands,
Yes, sir.
and could have just been making. But it could have had two of the premier. Oh my god! Now that I think of it, man, it's disappointing,
Yeah.
man. But
No. Yeah. It.
and that was at a time that Steve Ballmer was just handing out money.
Yeah.
Ballmer. I just found out recently. I forgot that he did that when Facebook was starting up, he offered them $20 billion, and Mark Zuckerberg said hell no.
Yeah. He said hell no. Yeah.
He said hell no to $20 billion. So
Well,
Micro
he knew he was sitting on a gold mine. He's like, no,
he said on the
sir.
gold mine, $20 billion,
I'm
man.
not
God,
cashing out yet, sir. Sorry.
no.
D True says hashtag bring back Connect or Killer Instinct.
They should bring out another Killer Instinct, though.
Yeah, they should.
I think that's going to come. I think that's going to be something you'll see either at XO, or you're going to see it next year at E3, because it's
Yeah.
about that time for Killer Instinct 2 to come out.
Yeah, I'd like to see new Killer Instinct. I didn't really play the first one, but I know that people liked
It
it.
was
So
really good.
yeah,
I loved it.
yeah,
Played a lot of that.
yeah. So all right, everyone, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up our podcast. We derailed a little bit. We're talking about Slow-Mo's Rapid Fist game.
Oh Lord.
And yeah, I just want to say, everyone in the live chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and please go out and buy that new limited edition Gears of War 5 Xbox console. It is fire. Probably the best looking custom console, I think, this generation. I'm going to say it's the best looking custom console this console generation. I'll throw that out there. So,
I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm back. Hey, can I answer a question that
Yeah, go ahead,
don't
man.
call me yet? He said Obsidian was working on Outer Worlds, but they made the deal, and it's coming to all consoles. Why not Ninja Theories? So Ninja Theory X games are all only going to be on the Xbox platform, which is through Xbox Live, Xbox, and PC. Only reason Obsidian's game is also going to PlayStation 4 is because it's being published by Private Division.
Okay.
Game was in development well before they got. He told all their developers, whatever you're working on, it's not going to be a big drama thing. Continue to going with those games and those publishers. Just everything going forward after that is going to be Xbox Game Studios published. So that's why Bleeding Edge, which wasn't publisher prior to Ninja Theory being purchased, is now just going to be on Xbox and PC. It's the first game of these new studios that's coming out, and it's all been funded so far with just Xbox and Microsoft, and not published by anyone else. In Exile stuff, they had obligations to their Kickstarter people, the people who put money in to kickstart Wasteland 3. L4 games, yeah. So those games are going to be on all platforms because that's what they told the Kickstarters when they put their money in to fund it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, that's interesting, man. Interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see. Obviously, at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to seeing what these studios put out. I mean, as much criticism as I give Xbox, I still, as Forte would say, I am hopeful. So, uh,
Mhm.
all right, guys. Everyone, again, thank you guys for hanging out with us in the live chat. Big shout out to everyone. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Hit that like button if you haven't subscribed. Do us a solid. Subscribe. Hit that notification button. And big shout out to, again, B Money and Eric Jackson. Couldn't be here tonight. And to my panel, Slow Mo and Forte. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. Please let everyone know where they can find you guys.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at the same name, Slow Mo Backslap. You can also find me on YouTube at the same name. I make YouTube videos about the games I like, The Division, uh, Warframe, but then I also focus a lot in on brand new games that seem to have a lot of potential and look to be like really, really quality games from new developers. So I'm always looking for those kind of games, featuring them, and really kind of trying to help these developers get some for games that look to be some real dark horse sleeper kind of stuff. So check me out. You might like it.
All right, man. No doubt. No doubt. Please check out Slow Mo's channel. Does have some great content and great production values, too, man. Forte, Mr. GameStop.
Oh, what up, though?
Where can people find you, man?
Man, well, you can always catch me on YouTube at Gaming Forte, messing with Slow Mo and making his videos for him every once in a while.
Oh, boy.
Thank you for all the support I
Here
get
we
on those videos. But outside of that, man, this was a great show, amazing show as always, and definitely looking forward to the next one with you guys.
Slow Mo, would you like to offer a rebuttal to that?
uh No, I'm not. I'm not even going to buy into this stuff. Forte don't make no videos for me. Okay, and be putting too much time into this stuff.
I
For
really don't
him.
make I don't really make videos for Slow Mo. I'm sorry. I just got to keep messing with him.
It's all good. I just don't want people
I
to
need
be
to make
like
my own damn videos. That's what I need to
that. I thought you were supposed to be dropping a video the other day.
it,
Drop it like
it
it's
the
hot.
audio was jacked up, so I had to re-record it.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Uh,
Oh, my goodness. All right, everyone. Thank you again for hanging out with us this evening. We are out. We'll see you guys next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unless I drop another Brap rant. May do a stream again. I streamed Judgment the other night on PlayStation 4, if you guys caught that. And I may stream it again. But other than that, we'll be back next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone have a great rest of the week. See you then. Peace.
peace.